What's up, YouTube? This is IS Gaming here, and I just wanted to give you a little discussion on the new archetype called the Cosmos. And I just wanted to say to start off that the first spell that was released was this field spell right here called Cosmo Town. It's really, really good. The effect is target one of your banished Cosmo monsters once per turn, return it to the hand, lose life points equal to its original level times 300. Once per turn, reveal any number of Cosmo monsters, shuffle them into the deck, draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled. If it's in your field zone and it's destroyed by a card effect, you can add a Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. Well, right away, this card just screams it's going to be a deck that involves banishing. On top of that, it also has kind of like a multiple destruction effect, a little bit, built into the field spell itself, which seems really broken. And even more, if it's destroyed by a card effect, MST, monster effects, anything like that, it also searches out another Cosmo card. So today I'm going to be talking about a little bit of the Cosmo cards, the other cards that have been released, which is Cosmo Good Witch and this Cosmo Forerunner, which I'm sorry there isn't a bigger picture for it. But I'm also going to talk about some of the cards that I think that would go decent with the deck for what we do know about the card right now. But moving on to Cosmo Good Witch, during either player's turn you can banish her, special summon a level 5 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. You can pay, or once per turn you can pay, they don't know the life point amount. It's been debated about 300, 500, 900. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position. Seems really good. It's a Book of Moon every turn on your turn. A couple life points, that's no big deal. The next card we have is Cosmo Forerunner, and Cosmo Forerunner, it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. During your standby phase, gain 1,000 life points, and if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card to special summon one level 6 or lower Cosmo monster from your deck. So he always will get her, or whatever is left, but he can always get Cosmo Witch and Good Witch. If you have another Forerunner in hand, you can actually get the Forerunner back out using Good Witch's effect again. But these are the three cards that they've released for the Cosmos, and what I'm feeling is like if they're going to be releasing more ships and monsters, the ships will always be machine and the monsters will always be psychic, is what I'm assuming. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions quite yet, but here's some of the cards I do think might be really useful in this deck, depending on if the archetype stays the way I've been predicting. The first card we have is Gore's Emissary of Darkness. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but both the Forerunner and the Good Witch are light monsters, so that means running a Gore's and some maybe other dark monsters such as like Necroguard, Armageddon Knight, anything dark allows you to go into play such as BLS. On top of that, Cosmo Forerunner is a level 7, so Gore's is also a level 7. You can make a rank 7 play after that. It's also just a decent hand trap in the game right now, in my opinion. The next card we have is Emergency Teleport. Like I said, if the deck decides to go with a ton of psychics, like I'm predicting, Emergency Teleport might be actually really, really strong, because you might be able to bring out some psychic monsters that help you get out the Cosmo cards themselves. Different Dimension Reincarnation. I feel like this card's going to be really strong, considering that you will always be banishing Cosmo monsters using their own effects. I don't feel like that this card will necessarily even be bad, because then you can also throw it to the graveyard after it dies, and you can use cards such as Jar of Avarice to shuffle them back into the deck and get them again. Burial from a Different Dimension is also a card I think might be really good, because once you have extended a lot of resources, you could have a set Jar of Avarice, and you can throw 3 banished monsters into the graveyard, so then you can have a basically live Jar of Avarice. Going on to the Psychic monsters that I think might actually be good is Silent Psychic Wizard. This card seems really strong because when it's normal summon, you can target a Psychic type monster in your graveyard and banish it. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon that monster banished by the effect. So if Good Witch is in your graveyard, normal summon this, banish the Good Witch, and when he dies, you can bring her out. We have Serene Psychic Witch, which also works really well with the Wizard. Serene Psychic Witch, when she's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, banish a Psychic type monster with 2,000 or less attack from your deck. During the next standby phase, if it stays in the graveyard, special summon the monster banished by this card's effect. So the reason why I think this card is good is because, one, on top of it being an E-Tele target, it allows you to, when it gets sent to the graveyard, to dig out your Cosmo card, which if you have the field spell, you can instantly add that card by activating the field spell and retrieving it from the banish zone. Now, I think that this card also has a lot of really good synergy, as it is able to also be banished by the wizard and then special summoned to allow you to dig into your deck more, creating more advantage. Um, and then we're back to Cosmo Town, because, I didn't really have a lot to prepare for this video, but what I did have is just the basic cards I think might be really, really strong in this game. Some other honorable mentions: Blackluster Soldier, because this deck can become very easily chaos oriented. It seems that the monsters are all light from right now. There may be some other attributes later on, but for right now it's all light, so dark monsters don't seem like a bad idea. You can run Honest, because Honest is also a very good card in light decks. Some of these guys' monsters' attacks are actually pretty high. We have a 2800 revealed already, and I think Good Witch is 1800, so that's not bad at all. But thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to hear more about some discussions like this, just let me know in the comments, and I can keep making videos like this. This is kind of an experiment to see if you guys like what I'm doing here. If not, then just give it a thumbs up anyway, because I love thumbs up. But this is IS Gaming, and I'm signing out.